Cheer. You guys are now listening to the Crime Pays podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Sanchez. I got my co-host with me, young Glizzy. Bow! Cheer. How you doing, Glizzy?
Chilling, living.
Good. How was your week, man?
My week was decent. You know what I'm saying? To say the least. I didn't have nothing crazy happen to me this week.
That's good, man. That's a good thing. My life has been upside down in shambles, dude. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, well, my week, nothing's going on. Your life, there's things going on.
Yeah, dude, you know what I mean? Like, and to keep things, private, I can't go into everything that's going on, but it's a shit show. You know what I mean? I made, I pray a lot, you know what I'm saying? And I prayed, I want to change in my life, dude. I want things to change. I want to live a better life. I want to live just a better life. So I prayed about things that are affecting me. And I was like, yo, God, if this is not for me, get it out of my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he'll do it.
If this kind of thing is not for me, get it out of my life. And literally in like a week, everything got flipped upside down. I'm in all kinds of problems, you know what I mean? But I got to stay focused. I got to stay grounded. And I got to realize that this is God's plan. You know what I mean? And at the end, I'm gonna end up on the right side of things.
Yeah, at the end, you'll end up on top.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But for now, I just got to weather the storm and just have faith that everything's going. And I got to do my part. You know what I mean? I just can't sit around and not do my part. You know what I mean? I asked for something. I got it. Now I have to execute. And I just pray God walks me in the right way and I make the right decisions.
Yeah, it's like what people say. God doesn't give it to you in a soft way. If you pray to be strong, he's going to give you issues. If you pray to be smarter, he's going to give you problems,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And if you ask for love, he's going to bring you broken people to love. Yes. You know what I'm saying? If you ask to be brave, he's going to put you in situations that you have to be brave.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you ask to suffer from, let's say you're suffering from some kind of anxiety, you're worried about something, he's going to give you something really to worry about. And that is going to bring you closer to him. You feel me?
Because a lot of people think it's just like a magic spell. And he's going to go up there and he's just going to delete your problems, or he's just going to magically put millions of dollars at your door, and that's not how it works.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. David wanted to be something special. You know what I'm saying? And he wanted to be a king, and God gave him a lion to fight.
Exactly.
And then he gave him Goliath.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then his brothers tried to get at him. It's crazy, bro. Life is hard, but, we cannot pray for an easy life. We have to pray for strength to endure a hard life.
Exactly.
And that's really what it's about.
That's a lot of knowledge you just dropped right there.
It's not me freestyling. It's from the good book. You know what I mean? All right, so this weekend we had a lot of boxing.
Yeah. I
took a L, but I took an L because I was scared to bet. You know what I'm saying? I thought Ryan Garcia was going to be the same guy he always was, you know what I mean? And he was not, dude. He fought like a pussy.
Yeah, I told you last week, I didn't think it was going to be a close fight. I thought Ryan Garcia was going to win. But I didn't bet just because everyone I thought was going to win was like plus 2,500. Like, that's ridiculous.
You know what I think happened?
You know what I mean?
You know what I think happened?
What?
I think because he got busted for PEDs, performance-enhancing drugs, in his last fight, he had to come into this fight clean. And I think since he was clean, we didn't get the same Ryan Garcia. We didn't get the same testosterone-filled guy. We didn't get the hunger. You know what I'm saying? We got that left hook wasn't hooking when it wasn't on PEDs, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you bet $100 on Rolly Romero, you got $800 back.
Yeah, that fucking sucks.
Yo,
I waste $100 on nothing.
My boss put $1,000 on Rolly. I thought he was crazy. You should have seen how happy he was that night. He was jumping around the club. He made $8K.
Yeah,
$8K, dude, and I didn't make shit. But shout out to him, dude.
That's life, bro.
Gambling's not for the weak.
Nah. If you're gonna gamble, you gotta. When I gamble, I really get into it. Like I go big. Yeah, man. You've seen me. Yeah. I don't come to play around. Yeah. I come to waste someone's rent, dude.
Rolly dropped him in the first round. It was either the first or the second round. Put him on his pockets. You know what I mean? He got up and he basically just fought scared for the rest of the fight. It was a boring ass fight to see. Devon Haney versus Jose Ramirez. If you don't know who Devon Haney is, he's the guy who
Yeah, I know
Ryan
Devon Haney.
knocked out
Yeah.
in his last fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they broke the record for least punches ever thrown in a fight in all of boxing history. We're talking since like 1920s, dude. That's how boring that fight was.
That is horrible.
It was terrible. And then you had Canelo versus Skull, which I thought was going to be a great fight. Skull also ran the entire fight.
A bunch of top contestants in shitty fights, huh?
Yeah.
Like a bunch of like names, even if you do not know boxing.
Yeah.
Like you know these people.
Yeah. And now, like, I'm thinking that it is a conspiracy, right? I'm thinking because all these guys were basically American fighters, you know, besides Canelo, who's, you know, obviously Mexican, but for the most part, they're American. And boxing's going through like this fight between the American promoters and the Saudi guys. The Saudi guys don't care about making money. They just want to see the best fights. So they throw like $100 million at both parties to fight so they can't say no. You know what I mean? But all the fights that they have been putting on have been shit fights. And is that like, who breaks the record for least punches thrown in a fight? Like, is that on purpose? I don't know. But it did ruin the payday between Devon Haney and Ryan Garcia on their rematch. They were going to get like $30 million each for the rematch. It was in the clause, you know, in their first contract. That's out the window now because they both lost, so nobody wants to see that. So
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, man.
That's dog shit.
Yeah, moving on, we got the White House posts a pic of Trump as the Pope, and the left-wing media freaks out, dude.
I like it.
Yeah, I think it was a good troll, dude.
I thought it was funny, dude. I didn't even take it seriously.
They asked the president, like, yo, why did you do that? He's like, I didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? That was somebody in the White House having fun, basically. He didn't say trolling, but, you know, they were just having fun, and they were like, well, yeah, but you offended, like, all the Catholics. He's like, that's not true. I didn't offend any Catholics. I did not get a letter from no Catholics saying that they were offended. The fake news got offended. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You guys got offended, but, you know, we were just having fun, this and that, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, really, like, you know, is it really that big of a deal? You know, and then I see, you know, the White House has been posting funny things.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I like it. I feel like it is fun.
Yeah, we're just having fun, dude. We went through 4 years of hell with Biden. It was boring. It was whack. It was just bad news after bad news after bad news. We saw our economy getting crippled every year upon year that went on. We saw wars. We saw everything just sucked. You know what I mean? Yeah. So now we got an administration in there that doesn't have a problem having fun. And, you know, I'm enjoying it.
And I also don't like, well, I'm the kind of person that as an American, I just feel like we take things less seriously over here. You know what I'm saying? You got the woke culture that just wants everything to be, oh my God, why'd you do that? I like the fact that the White House posted it.
And I don't care anymore, dude. We won. We beat you guys, dude. Popular vote winning mofo. MAGA is the majority of the country. You guys could cry about it all you want. Your way you think is the minority, dude. I personally don't care anymore. We rebranded this podcast and started going because the election was going, and we wanted to, even though we don't have a lot of influence, we had a little influence, but at least we were able to influence somebody.
Yeah, that's
true. You know what I'm saying?
We influenced one person.
What did you guys do besides post other people's content, all their TikTok propaganda BS? At least we had the cojones to get on here, put on our cameras, and say what we wanted to say, wear the hat we wanted to have, and be fearless about what we did. And we got a lot of crap for it. But today, I don't care, bro. People still come up to me and they're still hurt about it, and they want to talk to me. Did you see this? Did you see that? Did you see this? I'm like, honestly, I don't care no more. I'm on other things now.
I like when people cry about things that don't affect them.
Yeah.
Like I had some people just tell me the stock market is down, and I'm like, well, it's a good time to buy.
No,
they didn't buy.
Bro, anybody who tells me that the stock market is down, 95% of them don't own one stock.
Yeah, because if the stock market's down, you're gonna buy hella.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
That's what I did.
It's on sale.
Yeah.
So invest now so you can make money in the future, dummy.
Like a Black Friday on the stock market. That's what we got, dude.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Fucking taking W's all these 100 days.
Yeah. All right, so Diddy throws a Hail Mary. He changes up his lawyer, and his new defense is that he was on drugs when the freak-offs were going on, so he's not responsible for what happened. That is not a viable defense. I don't know. I know you're paying this guy millions and millions of dollars,
yeah,
bro.
But that's a shitty decision.
Yeah, like that's bad.
That's dumb.
Because, look, you can go insane by taking drugs. Everybody knows that, right? But you weren't insane before you took the drugs. So you're still responsible for what you do even when you're on drugs, right? If I get if I get hammered and I do something, that's not, I don't.
Yeah, you don't not go to
Yeah.
jail just because, you were driving drunk and crashed and killed these 5 people.
Yeah.
Don't worry, you were drunk. You were intoxicated. It's
Yeah.
not your fault.
No,
No,
you're
you know
still-
what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're still responsible
still
for it.
getting locked
Now,
up.
from
Ham
what I
sandwiches.
Heard, from what I heard, they're offering him 5 years as a deal if he pleads guilty.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
That's a good deal, which also makes me feel like the case against him is weak. Because if the feds offer you a 5-year deal off of all those horrible things the media said you did, maybe the case is weak.
Yeah, you know what? I don't think he did that much bad, dude. Like, all right, yeah, he beat up that girl. That's bad. But really, sex trafficking or human trafficking? No, dude. Like, he did what a lot of rich men do, and that's paying for women to come to your house and have fun and have little freak-offs. You know what I'm saying? I don't see nothing wrong in that. All right, he engaged in drugs. Okay, you could charge him for distributing drugs, right?
He didn't do nothing that Hugh Hefner didn't do.
Yeah. Dude, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? Now, a lot of people, they have they think like Cassie is like this crazy victim. You know what I'm saying? And she is a victim as far as him.
Yeah, he beat her up.
He beat her up.
That's for sure.
That's foul. You know what I'm saying? But should you do life in prison because of that? No. Now, as far as her being forced, allegedly, to have sex with sex workers that he paid for, I mean.
Was she forced?
They were swingers.
Yeah.
They were swingers, you know what I'm saying? So that's what swingers do. She already got paid $100 million before the whole crime thing came out. He gave her a bunch of money to sign an NDA and all that stuff. So.
And why do people sign these NDAs and then just come out?
Bro, you have to, bro. You have to. When you're a multimillionaire, bro, you have to have these freaking NDAs.
But how are these people getting away with talking about things even though they signed an NDA?
Oh,
all right.
Okay.
All right,
it's very simple. Hold on, let me explain it to you. Very simple. The NDA doesn't protect you against the government, right? The NDA only protects you against the media. So if she signs an NDA, that means she can't go on Piers Morgan and talk about what happened.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if the feds come and say, tell me exactly what happened, she can't be like, I signed the NDA. No. That NDA doesn't cover the government. You feel me?
All right.
But you have to have you have to have cameras in your house if you're somebody of that stature. You know what I'm saying? You have to record everything. You just have to protect yourself.
Yeah, if I ever get famous and blow up and make a bunch of money, I probably will just have a bunch of sex tapes. But that way, when someone says something, I'll be like, look, dude, right here. She said no, but she giggled, right? Yeah. And then she bent down because, when they read those scripts, right? Even during the Trump case, I'm not going off topic here, but when they read those scripts, like the person they have read it is so monotoned.
Mm-hmm.
No, stop it, please don't. But that could be in like 2 different ways, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. I got you. But they're offering him 5 years, which is not a bad deal.
You think Diddy's gonna get off?
I think he should have took the deal, but his lawyer's no better than me. I mean, if his lawyer advised him not to take the 5-year deal, that means they have to be very confident that they're going to win. Because he's already been locked up about a year now. That would knock off 1 year with time served. That would be 4 years. You know what I mean? He might do another 2.5, 3 years, and then be home. Shit, that's better than, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's better than doing 20 years if you blow trial.
And they gave him a jury too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
How do you feel about pop culture, like influencers and famous people having a jury, dude? I think that really kind of fucks up the case a little bit.
No, I think you're always going to want a jury.
Yeah, if I was a celebrity, I'd want a jury.
I'd always want a jury over a judge, right? Because number one, judges are very smart. They're highly intelligent. While a jury, you can get a bunch of low IQ people to be easily influenced, right? That's one. Number two, depending on who are you? Are you black? If you're black, you could get 7 black jurors and say you're being railroaded. You know what I'm saying? And they could sympathize with you. You know what I mean? So, I would go with a jury trial.
I mean, I would always go with a jury trial.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, for a celebrity, it's kind of hard. Like, if Justin Bieber got locked up right now and you gave him a jury, like, what are the chances that those people in that jury, they're going to all tell you they do not like Justin Bieber?
It depends on the case, too.
Yeah, like, Diddy is a Justin Bieber, dude. He's a big influencer
case,
like that.
But let's say you live, like, in a left-wing city, right? Like, super left-wing. Like, you live in New York, and you have a self-defense case, right? I might want to judge in that one, right? Because most of the people in there are not going to see things.
Oh, you get to choose whether you get a jury.
I believe so, yes.
Oh, okay. You see, I didn't know that.
In that one, I would want like a constitutional judge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it all depends. All right, moving on. You know who Dave Portnoy is?
Yeah.
He's the owner of Barstool Sports and Barstool
Pizza
Network.
guy.
He's not a pizza guy. He's a I think he's a billionaire.
I know him as a pizza guy.
He has a show where he reviews pizza, yes, but he has a network called Barstool Sports. They have a lot of podcasts, and then he's helped out a lot of people. He gave Gillian Wallow a $100 million contract, and he's a businessman, and he does a really good job. Well, he owns a bar. I believe it's in Chicago. Don't quote me on that. Basically, when you get bottle service, they come out with a sign saying, Big Rudy's in the house.
Yeah.
Well, somebody put F the Jews in his bar, right? So he got livid and he got super mad. And he made a rant online, and he said he was going to find out who those people were. He was going to out them, and he was going to ruin their lives. You know what I'm saying? And he ends up firing all the staff that served it, that made the sign. He fired them, and now he's investigating to find out who these people were, so he could write to the school they go to, or he could get at their job, and he could do that. Boom, 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 boom. And I totally understand him, because had I been him, I would feel the same way.
I would do the same thing. You
know what I mean? Now, to play devil's advocate, right? Online, they're saying, yeah, but he is basically doing what everybody says that they do. Basically, if you speak up against them, they'll ruin your life.
Yeah, he's feeding into the prejudice.
Yeah, exactly. Like they wield so much power that they'll ruin your life if you go against them, right? So, I kind of understand that.
That's fun
too. You know what I mean? But I don't know. What should he do?
I mean, dude, I would do it anyways. My bar, dude, I'm gonna do it. I thought I wouldn't let no one disrespect me like that. Yeah. And it's kind of like a close shot, being that he is a J. So. What is he supposed to do? Just sit there and take that? Yeah. Next thing you know, it might get worse if he doesn't do something about it.
Yeah, for sure.
So
for sure. All right, moving on. We got Rodney Jr. You know who that is?
Yeah. I got a little. All
right, so basically, this is very controversial. It's out in the news. It's going viral. You might have seen him, getting walked through and mean mugging the cops, and they were mean mugging him. Basically, his son. Was in a car chase with, I think, like 4 of his friends in a Kia. And it's always a Kia. Kias are super easy to steal.
Yeah. The Kia boys.
Yeah, they have something in that car that they could steal it in a second.
But they show you how to steal it on YouTube. Yeah. Just crazy.
So they get into a high-speed chase, and they get cornered in by the cops. All the kids go running out of the car. And he goes running out the car, but when he runs out the car, he has a gun, a semi-automatic pistol in his hand, right? So they go on a foot chase. He has his back towards the cops, so they don't shoot him. You know what I mean? But he ends up tripping. He falls and he drops the gun. Now he picks the gun up, right?
Don't want to leave it behind.
And now he's face to face with the cops. He's picking the gun up, and they unalive him, which is a sad and tragic thing, but I understand the police, right? Like how many milliseconds does it take for you to reach up and clap the police, right? The cops they have to make a split decision. Boom, so they unalive him. Now the dad, I don't know if he saw the body camera footage, because I've seen it. It's online. Check it out for yourself. We can't post it here because it'll get clapped by YouTube or whatever. But yeah, I believe if the dad saw the body cam footage, I think he might have not have crashed out like that. But basically, within 24 hours, Rodney Jr. gets in his car and he runs over a deputy that was doing school patrol, basically walking kids from one side of the street to the other. He slammed into him and he unalived him. So now there's a lot of controversy on the internet about it. Commenters and people are saying, "Oh, good, if somebody does that to my kid, I'll do the same." Or, an eye for an eye, you know what I'm saying? This and that, blah, blah, blah. It's a tragic situation. You know what I'm saying? I pray for both. I pray for the deputy's family. And I can't give him the right You know what I'm saying? Like
I don't understand him at all, dude.
I can't give him the right, but I can understand how he could be enraged by losing his son like that. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
look, I could understand how he could be enraged by losing his son, right? What I don't understand is why you kill an innocent cop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
That cop isn't the one that killed your son. Now, you know, in an unorthodox way of thinking, a proper way of me understanding him would have been him looking for the guy that killed his son, and then he killed that guy.
Yeah.
You know, God forbidden. But like you just killed a random cop, dude. And for all of you texting, putting comments saying an eye for an eye, dude, the cop is not a gang. The cops are not Bloods. They're not Crips. You know what I'm saying? And though cops do stick together, like in all reality, like the other cops don't truly give a fuck about the other cop's life. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, they got home and they made it to their families.
Also,
and cops deal with a dangerous job, dude.
Also, like, where were you as a father, though?
Yeah,
right?
dude.
Like, why?
You know,
like, if your son, like, if you love your, I'm not saying, I'm not talking like he didn't love his son, right?
Yeah.
But if you were such an engaged and passionate father, what was your son doing in a stolen car with a gun?
Exactly.
Right?
At the age of 18, right?
I don't even know. I think he might have been a minor.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I'm saying?
Come
on, bro. Like, you failed him.
Yeah. If you're hood, and then your kids are hood, you failed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. If you got a gangster ass son and you yourself are a gangster, you failed. You could have saw that coming.
Yeah.
You could have saw it coming because you know why you're a gangster. So why is your son following in your same footsteps when you know
like,
the
you
path
have to take
avoid it?
You have to take accountability as a man and be like, what was my son doing in a stolen car, carrying a gun, and running from the police? You know,
exactly.
Like, you don't do that, bro. If anything, you leave the gun in the car, you run out.
Yeah, but I mean, I get why you don't want to leave the gun either. Like, I probably would have grabbed the gun too, because if my fingerprints were on it, I wouldn't want the cops to trace it back to me.
Yeah,
God, you know what I'm saying?
God knows what he did before that.
Yeah, yeah. Why do you have a gun on you?
Yeah,
you
maybe they were on a drill or some shit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
And a stolen car and you got a gun on you? Yeah, someone got to take the gun.
Yeah, for sure.
And if my fingerprints are on it, I'm taking it.
Did you see AOC's promo run for her presidency?
I didn't see the promo run. I heard about it, though.
It's a pretty good video. I ain't going to lie. I'm happy. I think she's a great pick for the Democrats for president. I think she's going to be easy work for J.D. Vance in 2028.
Do you think J.D. is going to be the one that runs?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. People are going to run against him, but I think he's going to be the nominee.
That would be crazy.
Yeah.
He has the fastest political career I've seen.
Yeah, for sure. He's a plant.
yeah, he's a plant.
He's a plant, but whatever. Better than having AOC as president. She's super left, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Super left and super woke.
She's dancing on the line of socialism. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like how people think she is the smart one.
No.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But I think she would be a horrible president. She's a great pick if I want the Republicans to win.
Yeah, I think the Democrats need to rebrand, bro. Like, they don't have anybody that is a good leader. You know what I'm saying?
You need to stop, dude. The woke. All right, look. There's eras in this world, right? The woke era has ended. Majority of the people voted against it. Yeah. So get a Democrat that's not woke, dude. Yeah. Not all Democrats are woke.
If you want to win, I want you to lose. So definitely run AOC. I think she's food. I think she's going to be an easy win for us. Bring her on, dude. As a matter of fact, keep on running women. Every 4 years, give me a new woman, dude, until you guys win. Let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then they want like a woman president so bad, it's almost like they're just putting anybody there.
No.
You know, AOC does have a career in politics. Yeah. Better woman to run than Kamala Harris. That's for sure.
Well, Kamala Harris is way more decorated than her. AOC literally hasn't done anything. She's part of a district in New York City that she runs a town. She hasn't passed any good legislation. She doesn't have any like crazy accolades. Oh, you
see, I didn't know that. Yeah, see, I just see her. I always see her face.
She's not a senator. She's a congresswoman. You can run for Congress and win. Yeah, but it's not that hard.
Yeah, but I've seen her face a lot. Like her face is out there. Yeah. You know, on the media. Mm-hmm. I didn't see Kamala's face till moving on. Biden came around.
I met a 32-year-old divorce attorney. We had a conversation and it was pretty good, bro. I asked her, you know, who initiates more of who initiates more divorce in the country. She told me easily 90% of women are the ones who initiate divorce. And I asked her, what's the most common reason for divorce? You know what I mean? And she basically said that it's usually the woman's friends. You know, like women get married younger. Their friends don't get married. Their friends want to go out on yachts, on boats. Oh, come out with us on Friday night. Do this, do that. And now the woman feels insecure about her marriage. Did she pick the right guy? You know what I'm saying? Does she want to live that life? And they kind of get brainwashed by their friends, and then they end up initiating divorce. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she says that most of her clients are men, right? So the number one complaint that men have is that they stop having sex. So she has guys that haven't had sex in 5 years with their wives, 10 years with their wives.
Yeah, that'll do it.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for sure.
I'm gone after a year.
Yeah, for real.
A year. I won't take a year like that.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah, it's disrespectful.
It's messed up.
I'll think you're cheating. Because you know what it is? That our libido is so crazy. So I think a woman's libido is the same when it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. I understand that. But a year is crazy.
Well, sex is usually the cornerstone of most marriages, you know, sexual chemistry. I know for a man, like, you know, you go through women and...
I don't think a woman will care as much as a man. I think I'm sex.
Yeah.
I think you want to keep your man happy? Like sex.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a powerful thing.
Yeah, for sure. It is.
Yeah.
It is. But yeah, so basically, you know, like you have to have that sexual chemistry with your wife. You know what I'm saying? Now, a lot of bad things happen before you guys stop having sex. You know what I mean? And it leads to that. You know, two people that don't like each other obviously are not going to have sex.
That's
facts.
I mean?
And I feel like women can hold more grudges. Like they can't get, like, I could fight with my girl and, you know, a day later, I'll be all right with it. Like, I'll either apologize for what I said or let's just, okay, you say your part, vent to me, tell me everything I did wrong. I'll tell you how I feel. Let's move forward. You know what I mean? I feel like that is, in a relationship, that is key. You know, you have to be able to forgive and move on. And both have to learn, right? Because if you keep on doing the same shit over and over and over again, nobody's going to do it. That's the definition of insanity, right? Trying the same thing over and over and expect a different result.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think women don't forgive as easily as men, but women also, like, they have less loyalty than men. A man will go to the same barber for 30 years, you know what I'm saying, and never switch barbers. For a woman, she'll go to different hairdressers, different nail people, like, you know.
I think women can get over a relationship a lot easier than a man, right? Like, if a man really loves a woman, he's going to love her for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And a woman will love you until she meets another man.
All right, that there I don't agree with. You know, I don't think that's true. Because did you know, and this is facts, that every time a woman has sex with you, she takes a piece of your DNA.
Yeah.
Right? So I think women have a bond with the man, right? Something that me and you would never know of. You know what I'm saying? We just love the woman because of, I don't know, our need to like baby someone or like to provide, right? We like providing. Women don't like providing, and women take a piece of your DNA.
I disagree, dude.
Like, I don't think
a woman can love you all she wants. The second she likes another guy and they get into it like that, she don't care about you no more, bro. That's a fact.
Okay, then explain to all the men why they get cheated on with the woman's ex, dude. Feel me?
Yeah.
You see, it goes both ways, dude. I think women just have a loyalty problem.
No.
And that's the problem. I think why they get divorced so often is because they want to see if the grass is greener on the other side.
No.
You know what I mean? And then when it's not, they want to come back home. No. You know what I'm saying? The phrase, we need a break, is only like a woman thing. Like, no man has ever looked at his woman and been like, we need a break, right? Yeah. She needs a break so she could try the grass on the other side, and then when it's not, she comes back to you.
She was an interesting young woman. Her number one advice to me was always get a prenup.
Yeah, I mean, you should definitely get a prenup, dude.
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm for prenups.
Get a prenup and a trust fund, and put the trust fund under your mom's name, and then you're gonna be good, dude. And you make $0.
I mean, that's
your
if
mom
you
makes
that's if you
millions.
have trust fund money. You know what I'm saying? I'm a normal person.
Nah, you got trust fund money, dude.
Nah.
You could you could open up a trust fund with like a few thousand.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Put it under your mom's name, dude. Put the house under your mom's name, dude. Like,
all right, guys.
good.
Thank you, guys. We're out of time. Thank you guys for watching. In relationships, keep your hands up. Protect yourselves at all times. We appreciate you guys for watching. Much love.
Oh, well, hold
respect.
on. I want to give advice. In a relationship, do what my good cousin Alex said, is just leave room for disappointment, bro. That works
When
for me
dealing
every
with
time.
women, leave room for disappointment.
Facts.
All right, guys. Have a good night. We appreciate you guys watching. Peace.
Peace.